everyone, welcome back. It's Charlotte from At Charlotte's House, but this is not my house. I mean, it was my house, but it's not my house anymore because almost a year ago, I sold my first flip house. Why are you just now showing us the before and afters? Great question. I'd love to tell you. I literally just forgot. I was so overwhelmed by the whole thing that I forgot. So this is my attempt to kind of go back and show you everything. These are obviously the before pictures. I took video of when both we did our walkthrough and once I had taken over the house. So that's why there's furniture in some and not in others. But you can tell that there's just some things that need to be changed. The house itself was so sweet. It was in a beautiful neighborhood nearby. It had great bones. I know that's what people always say, but it did. It just had a really nice quality to it, but it was stuck in time a little bit. It was the family home of a family of four, and the parents had passed away, and so the children were selling it, and it clearly hadn't been updated aesthetically for a while. And that's sort of what I liked about it, is that it was mostly cosmetic. There were a couple things that needed heavier lifting, like this bathroom needed some help. I just needed to find a way to bring in a little more space. I learned that essentially a house that hasn't been updated aesthetically, there were other things that hadn't been updated, so I had to come in and fix some electrical issues. This is the primary bedroom, and that whole back wall went away. You can see that there's a window covered in that back closet. So when you see this space again, just keep that in mind. They had essentially created this false wall with kind of built-ins that didn't really add any space. Like there was less storage because of this. So that I wanted to remove. Most of the work in this house I was able to do all on my own. I had a contractor that was so helpful. He helped bring in subcontractors because I did have a team come through and patch and fix all of the drywall. When I pulled down all the paneling and the wallpaper, the drywall or the plaster needed some attention. My contractor was able to help me with a few things in the kitchen, like setting some base cabinets. We learned a few weeks before the house went on the market that these stairs needed some big time help. They were not really holding up very well. So there were a few things that I really did need some help with. I obviously didn't refinish the floors, shocker, but all of the wall-to-wall carpeting went away and there was hardwood. So I had some help, but like this backyard, this is how it looked. It's a great backyard. It runs the width of the whole block, but there was no patio. So that is something that I wanted to take care of. You can see that shed way in the back. I was able to give that a little bit of a makeover. I didn't do anything to that garage, but there was just a lot of what I would consider low-hanging fruit to make this place look even cuter. So this is like the front. I didn't love that red. That's sort of an old-fashioned color, so I painted everything gray, brought in a beautiful blue to the front door, painted all those shutters black, just crisp and clean, nothing major. This is the dining room. I did go ahead and remove the barrels that were mounted on the wall. I removed the faux siding. All of these beams were just decorative. They were made of wood and they were up there. So I took those down. I took down all of the layers of wallpaper. I never want to remove wallpaper again. It wasn't installed the right way. It was just really cumbersome to remove, but I did it and painted everything just a nice crisp white. So that makes a huge difference. That flooring that you see, that was the hardwood that was underneath the wall-to-wall. We went with a darker stain than I would normally go with because there were some nails that had been hammered in and the dark stain just covered everything. So here's the kitchen. This was probably the space that took the most work, although the bathroom upstairs took a lot of work. I removed that little island area. I kept the same cabinets, but I replaced the counter. We added a row of cabinets. I replaced all of the appliances. This little powder room, obviously removed the washer dryer. I took away the storage. We moved the sink so that it was in a better spot. And again, just getting rid of that little cooktop island soffit situation made such a difference. And then of course, removing wallpaper and paneling, but this is how the kitchen looks now. So you can see where I added that little stretch of counter. I brought in new appliances, that vent hood. I added tile backsplash. Those are the original cabinets. I just painted them. Actually, I added new cabinet doors. That way there was some continuity. So I replaced the cabinet doors. I kept the cabinet boxes. I brought in sort of a faux painting treatment into that powder room so that it looks like a grass cloth wallpaper. That sink I found on Facebook Marketplace and had that installed there. So again, I tried to do as much as I could on a budget. Those are vinyl floor tiles. They're super adhesive and really durable and beautiful. So that was a good solution because I couldn't remove all the layers of flooring because it was just old and in there. So that adhesive floating tile made such a difference. And this is like maybe the nicest kitchen I've ever had, and it's not even in my house. So go figure. I love that little kitchen. It's so bright and cheerful. Now we're upstairs, and this is that little cute back room. That closet right there is what we had to take over to make the bathroom a little bit more accessible. And then the rest of this space, I just figured would be a really great home office. I love that bay window and that built-in storage. I just set it up with a little desk you can see right there leaning up against the wall. It would also work as a little nursery, I think, in my opinion, like a little mini crib could go right there. So it's a tiny bit smaller because we borrowed space for the bathroom, but it's still a beautiful, sunny, cheerful room. And I just love looking out over the backyard through that bay window. This is one of the bedrooms. So much paneling, so much wallpaper. That all went away, and each of these bedrooms is a perfect size for a little twin bed. You could probably bring in more, but a twin bed was just easiest for me for staging. I found all of this furniture on Facebook Marketplace, by the way, and I sold most of it when the house sold, but the homeowners bought some of it. But it was a really fun challenge to furnish the entire house with as little as possible, and I think I did a pretty good job. It makes the house feel lived in without going overboard. Okay, here we are in the primary bedroom. The purple carpet going away made a huge difference. But then can you see how that whole back wall, I added the window back in, and this space is now so bright and cheerful and sunny and inviting, and I just really think it was worth it to get rid of that back closet situation. There's no question that older homes typically don't have as much closet space, so I tried to keep one closet in here for sort of hanging items, and then that little corner right there, I made it sort of a built-in dresser. And that's not bad. There's a closet in every room, and that's pretty typical, again, for houses this age. Here's that last bedroom upstairs. I obviously took out all of the built-in desks and the paneling and the wallpaper and the carpet, and we're left with a really good size, just sweet little bedroom right there. You can see the closet behind the bed there. That was something that must have been added after the fact, but it's a good size. I repainted all of the radiator boxes. I had to build a couple new ones. And then here we are in the upstairs bathroom. I kept the shower surround in place just to save money. It was almost brand new. It worked perfectly well. It was clean and tidy. And so what we did is we just created space behind that vanity that you see right there. We went into the closet next door, and that was all we needed to bring in a new vanity. Because there was already a water line there, it meant that I didn't have to do anything major. This part of the project my contractor helped with, so he helped kind of demo through that wall and then reframe it to create this little L for the bathroom upstairs. The new homeowners could put shelves in that back little niche if they wanted, or they could just leave it the way it is there with a laundry basket. But it's enough space to be able to sit on the toilet without brushing your teeth at the same time. I thought this was a really smart way of reimagining that bathroom without spending tens of thousands of dollars to remake the whole thing. This is the basement that originally I was just going to kind of clear out and leave alone, but my agent really encouraged me to make this into a livable space. And so what I did is I painted the floor, I painted the walls, and I did pay to have my contractors come in and add drywall to the ceiling. You don't see it super well there, but it was a hard process for them because of all the steam pipes and water lines that are going through there. But it's a huge basement space, and it's a perfect area for the kids to go down and use as a playroom or a TV room. There's some nice storage around the corner, and then the laundry is also down here. There's a Bilco door out to the backyard. So that basement basement is definitely usable found space. Here we are going out to the backyard the way it was when I bought the house. Remember, it had that one little porch area and then nothing else, just sort of a measly grassy area. It does have a garage, which I didn't do much to. That's going to need some help, but that's going to be for the new homeowners. And it did have the shed, but nothing else. I made this little mudroom vestibule much brighter and cheerier. I painted, added some hooks, and then I painted the deck, and I added a patio. I did that with my friend Sam. I've never done a patio, but it makes such a difference. It just gives the backyard a little bit of a focal point. It's a perfectly good-sized, usable patio. I brought in some string lights and planters. This is that shed I was talking about that I repainted. So it looked adorable until a tree fell on it. So they could replace that if they wanted. The platform still remains. And then here we are just looking back at all the before and afters. A lot of the makeovers were basically cosmetic, but to get to that cosmetic place, it was a lot of elbow grease. Removing that wallpaper was painstaking. Getting up the carpet took a lot of effort. Fixing the drywall, it was not easy. I'm so proud of it. I mean, I did most of it on my own. It took 4 or 5 months, which is pretty good considering it was just me. And I look at this house and it's a totally new space. I'm really excited for the new homeowners because I just think it is so sweet. And would I do it again? I don't know. Thanks so much for watching, and don't forget to check out the full Flip House series on my YouTube channel.